So, Michael Jaco has just done a video, and in that video, he comes out and says that Simon Parks is not only a vampire, but a baddie.
Janine Morja, beautiful soul. I've had many lifetimes with Janine. She's absolutely amazing soul. Love her in this life. She's doing good work, and she got attacked. All right. So I've known this for a while, guys. I've known this for a long time because someone else told me that this particular person had psychically attacked them and tried to rape them. And I'm like, how does that happen? But I know that this stuff goes on. And I was told by this person who's a psychic that it's not only happened to her, it's happened to many women, that this person is a vampire in certain realms, right? So yeah, Simon Parks, I know it's going to hurt, but a baddie, right? So I know a lot of people have come up to me over the last year and said they're part of his group. And I'm like, oh, like I know some things. And sometimes I just expect someone's going to expose themselves somehow, so I don't have to be the bad guy. All right. But when I have someone like that going after my friends like that, coming after you. All right. So I'm out there with it. Simon Parks is a baddie. All right. I know it's going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people aren't going to like it. I'm going to get attacked like crazy now, even more so than I am now. But, you guys want to know the truth. I hear it. I've been hearing it for a year and a half. Stop beating around the bush and give us the whole truth. All right. There you go. All right. So now you guys are going to be like, I just told you the truth and you're going to attack the messenger. I know it. It's the way it happens. And probably get some feedback from Simon Parks, I imagine.
I do wonder what Simon is going to say to all this.
Lyman Sharks, the Intel Lady channel.
Lawyers' letters coming.
Here in Britain, I've just won a court case. I can't go into details yet because we haven't had what we call the costs hearing. But I won a big court case against people who were saying some very outrageous things about me, and they've just lost in court. And so the best thing to do with people is not give them trial by social media, it's give them trial by court. If people are saying things, then they better prove it in a court of law.
So anyway, that's that. So let's move on with the news. After I drop that Hiroshima bomb.
So I've covered some of this sort of stuff before. It's not the first time that we've heard about psychic attacks being perpetrated by Simon Parks. Also, a lot of these attacks that have been reported have come from women, and a lot of those claim to have been astrally raped by Simon. Now, Simon on his own website had come forward to say, to apologize for these experiences that people have had, saying that he'd been made aware of them and that he was aware that they were coming from his father, being his alien father, and that these attacks should now have stopped. Now, I've got to wonder, these people that are being apparently attacked psychically by Simon, they're meant to be trained psychics, well-known trained psychics, tarot readers, etc. I'm not particularly well versed in this kind of realm. You would think that they would have vigils and protections in place to protect themselves from the likes of Simon, right? Being that they are famous or sub-famous, very well-known psychics. It seems like the grifters are eating each other alive. Now, is Michael Jaco a grifter? If you're not familiar with Michael Jaco, he claims that he's a secret space program insider and is quite a well-known name in the grifting truther scene. This guy, Michael Jaco, offers a multitude of courses for extortionate amounts of money. Just look at some of these. All sorts of different ones. $5,332 for the ultimate course bundle. Past life discovery, the awakening of a warrior. The one-on-one coaching, $1,196 to do that course with Michael Jaco. This guy is an ultimate grifter. Michael Jaco also claims that he's a psychic and that he can remote view. And recently, Jaco has broken his silence around his seeming indifference when learning of Cirsten W's death on air.
So I was remote viewing, what was coming. People that were there, the situation, were asking, what's going to happen to Cirsten. So I knew that she was not going to make it, right? So, but I was like, well, we pray for her. And, I came on the shows and I was saying the same thing. But I was praying for her as well, of course. But there's part of me that could see into the future, and I knew that she wasn't gonna make it. All right. So she didn't make it, and we heard about that. It was on a show with Scott McKay. He had a contact. The contact relayed that she was gone. So I had remote viewed. So some people were watching that show and said I didn't have any feelings because I'd already remote viewed that she was in a morgue. All right. Being a remote viewer, being a psychic, sometimes it's not always great. You see things, and I don't tap into everyone. I'm just into certain people, friends. Cirsten W, I was looking out for her, trying to see what was going on. And so I saw her in a morgue. I saw her like in some type of church-like morgue, and I guess the hospital she was at was like some kind of church. And I also saw that was like a Catholic church. I don't know if it was Catholic or what it was, but it was some kind of religious hospital. And she went there. She was taken there by ambulance service, so they decided where she went. So they decided to take her at this particular hospital. So nothing against the hospital. Hospitals are going to do what the hospitals do right now. What I would like to know is if she's completely intact, and we're not going to know that because for whatever reason, and I knew this in my remote view, and I know it now, that no one is coming forward that's a family member. So they're holding her remains until someone comes forward that's a family member. So that's the situation right now with Cirsten W, guys.
This got me wondering. Now, was Jaco the source that Charlie Ward cited was his channeler when he said this?
The city under the Arctic as well. And that's been controlled by the White Hats for a long time. And, you'll like this as an ex-military man, somebody who was channeling it saw Robert David Steele there, along with many other people on the Witness Protection Program. Wow. That I found fascinating.
So, if Robert David Steele is actually alive in the Witness Protection Program, living in Antarctica, no, actually, he said the Arctic, underneath the Arctic, so underneath the sea. If Robert David Steele is living underneath the sea, I know that Jaco says that Cirsten really has died. There's a lot of speculation that she is not. I wonder if Cirsten is down there under the Arctic with Robert David Steele. And I wonder if they're still arguing over my 30 Reasons video.
He's polite, unlike that other person that I'm not going to mention his name, from a 3-letter agency that threatened, told me to get my head out of my ass because I sent him your video. And he said, you're doing it for numbers and you only had 500. I'm like, I gave him a piece of my mind, as you know, and I said, you're a stranger. How do you talk to people like that? You're like very rude and you're like an animal. It's disgusting. And they told me to F off. I mean, that's just uncouth and uncivilized. At least Charlie is classy and he keeps it classy. But, you have to keep it that way to keep on pumping that misinformation. So for my conscience, I stopped doing it because I felt this heavy load. Like, he's sucking me dry. If I wanted the numbers, I would have stayed on the show. I would have stayed on. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was drained. I'm happy to do your show because I feel that those 30 reasons are valid and they're factual. And, you know, I'm not doing it for the numbers. In fact, I'm sure I'm going to get constant attacks after they see this because, you know, if I did not get fired from a show. I can show you the email where I told him I'm not going to do your show anymore. Okay. So don't try to say that I am sour grapes, that I got fired because I quit. How's that?
Yeah, you
I
quit. Guys, that's all I've got for you today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and share. As always, follow M Seeker of Truth.